Hi. In the previous video, I explained about the data sheet and the explain the correlation between data sheets. In this current video, I am going to explain directly about the current sheet. It is daily ops log sheet. So the daily operation log buses of all the 636 buses and the total number of trips taken will be explained. So what does this sheet consist of? This sheet consists of trip IDs, the total number of trips taken by each bus, and also the date on which. So instead of taking on an average, here we can see the total number of trips taken. Control Control Shift and down arrow, it's like 2385, which means that on an average, all the combining all the depots and all the bus types, around 2385 trips will be taken by 636 buses in Visakhapatnam city. So, on a single day. So, if we want to analyze year over year or monthly, there will be huge amount of data. So, for the current analysis, we are considering the data of only single date, and it is taken as an average over a year. So, again, if we want to do analysis, we should know our data correctly. So right now, the what does this sheet consist of, which is not present in the other sheet. The trip ID is not present in previous sheet. The street one concept trip ID, the date on which the data has been taken, the bus registration number is present in bus master 2, and it could be connected. The route numbers is also present in route master, and the depots is also present. The bus type is present on from and to. And the other most important thing is like the time taken for the arrival and departure. So the time taken, the time it has started, the time it has arrival. So let's take and the actual arrival, actual scheduled and actual, as well as scheduled departure and actual departure, scheduled arrival and actual arrival, the total trip time as well as delay taken. So why is this parameter important in this? Like the delay is something like it is used to calculate. All these columns are used all the columns are used in order to calculate the most important key performance indicators like average trip delay, the delay performance, the on-time performance. There are number of KPIs which I'll be discussing in the upcoming videos. So in order to calculate those KPIs, we need to have these parameters as a correct value. So the what is this delay minutes? Delay in minutes is like the actual time taken and the total time it has to be taken. So if it is less than 5 minutes, which is like it is on time. If it is greater than 5 minutes, it is not on time. Also, we have other parameter called average trip delay, the trip delay of the whole day. Also the kilometers covered. Now let's check whether like these are all the buses. Same bus will be repeated number of times. Here you can see the bus registration number AP1153. It has started at 5 and reached at 7 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and 12 o'clock. So the bus has repetition. So if we want to count the number of buses which has participated in a day, this repetition will also be counted. We should be count distinct. So let's go to this part of whether our data is actually correct or not. So if you want to have count district, this is Excel 2019 version. There is no count district. So I use the some product version. So here you can see the 567. So which means like it is similar to it is similar in all these 562 or 567. It is similar to previous sheets. And the next, the total routes, it will around 80. Let's use the same thing because there is a repetition of the route number. So in order to avoid it, we can use unique in 365 and above, whereas less than Microsoft 2019 or less than a Microsoft 365 version, we should use this product, some product one by counters. So here again, we have the route number says 83, as in the previous sheet. The total routes are 84, some 84. So next is we have the departure time, the average trip delay, the delay time, and the kilometers covered. Now the most important part we have to correlate. So go to table design and go to the total row, and now I'm going. So we get all the totals, right? So the total of around the total kilometers count around 2 lakhs, 2 lakhs nearby 2 lakh 2.1 lakh. So even the route master is around 2.0201196 and 201974. It's really very close, very close. And again, the passengers travel to 2,43,661 and 2,45,000. Again, it's also a close thing. And also the revenue is 97.8 lakhs or something, and it's also 97.38. So all the parameters are correlated with all the sheets. So which is very good scenario because without this the data is not correct. If the data is not correct, the analysis is a waste of time. So these are correct. So this sheet is completed. Now coming to the yearly trend RTA sheet. This yearly trend RTA sheet is one sheet where we take the average of one day and consider it as for the whole year. So here there are some of the values which are static, which will be given, and we don't need to calculate anything. And some of the values are dynamic. It's like we need to deduce the value. So few of the examples are like revenue per buses under maintenance, diesel buses, hybrid buses. These are all the static. These are simple counts. We cannot calculate or something. But whereas these are all the static yellow part. But the average kilometer per bus per day, it will be changing every year. These also change, but there is no parameter. The total buses side. These are all not like the static KPIs. They don't they don't play any key role. The bus, whatever the buses may be, increase if we increase the bus, the revenue will be increased as well as the cost will also be increased. But service reliability and the cost per kilometer, the fare box recovery ratio, which means like the total amount spent and the total recovered from this, and the fuel efficiency, fuel consumed, on-time performance, the total time taken, like how much amount of how many buses has reached, like the percentage of buses which has reached on time, 74.5. So all these parameters, in order to have a clear analysis, we need to have further data. Here you can see the cost per liter, the cost kilometer per liter. So the later analysis cannot be done because we don't know the later value and how the APSRTC is buying. So some parameters we can ignore because we don't have the data of that parameter. The costing effect is not discussed. We can only discuss the data which is available in RTI. Also average daily revenue. How this revenue is deduced, we'll discuss all these KPIs. Most important KPIs will only be discussed because these KPIs will decide in for decision making. Also the average trip delay, the total number of, again we have static data. The static data, number of buses, all these are static data. And again the effective fleet operating. But some data, some KPIs, like we have KPI dashboard. So fleet age greater than 10 years. How this fleet age is calculated, the total buses by total into 100. Kilometer per bus per day, average kilometer per bus per total kilometers. Revenue per bus per day, total revenue per bus operated. So these are some of the KPIs. And again, on-time performance, trips on time at total trip. So again, daily, this should be around 85%, 86%. Earnings per kilometer, 48.37%. So these are a number of parameters, there are number of KPIs, and we are going to compare this in this in the coming sheet. The comparison is done between with each sheet, like how the value has been changed. There is no change in value. Average revenue is like revenue per bus per day into total buses. We get 98 lakhs, and similarly we get all the sheets. So for Vizag sheet, we are going to calculate everything and correlate it because this is a mock-up data which I have created using the existing data. Also, average daily volume of operation, kilometer per bus per day. But how this revenue per bus per day we get it? We get it from the we get it from the state sheet. So this one sheet we get it. This one sheet which we get the average. This sheet is used as a standard values. So like our earning per kilometer is 48.34 kilometer per bus per day. How did we get that sheet? We get this sheet using this. So using this, we get that sheet, and this sheet is used in order to calculate all the parameters. And similarly, we in order to calculate each and every parameter, if you want it, multiply with the total number of bus. If you want it, multiply the total amount. We take the value of each bus and multiply it with that in order to get our data. So here we can see the deduce. The deduce is we have deduced it from the standard sheets, earning per bus per day. So this is the standard sheet which is present in this sheet. Earning per bus per day which is present in this sheet. Kilometer per bus per day present in this sheet. Multiply with 350 buses, we get the value for 350. 200, we get the value for 200. So that's how we have made all the data sheet, and these data sheets correlation, the comparison, everything gets well. And also in the coming video, so these are the most important KPIs, and I'll discuss in deep about